Tonight, let's talk about tonight. Tonight, one of the things that I wanted to get on and talk about is something that's near and dear to my heart. And so I may be a little chatty tonight, so stay with me, though. I promise we're going somewhere. But here's what I want you to understand. One of the main things and one of my greatest concerns is that we are not passing wealth to our children. We're passing poverty, right? I have a big problem with that. I have a big problem with the fact that we as parents are not doing the kind of things that we need to do in order to teach our children how to be financially solvent. And part of the reason, and again, there's no disrespect, so y'all know how I am. I'm just going to call it for what it is. But part of the reason is because we don't know. As parents, we don't know. And I'm here to let you know what you don't know will hurt you after a while. And I think that sometimes we get to a point where we feel like, well, it's going to be all right after a while, or whatever it's going to be, or whatever the case may be. But what we found out when we were down there in Deerfield Beach, and as we were just having, again, a wonderful and just masterful conversation with those that were there, we found out that a lot of people actually can remember grandmama and them doing things to protect their family, to protect their generation, to tell us the right things to do financially, but somehow it got lost in translation, right? Our parents didn't pay that much attention. Our parents didn't do those things. Our parents didn't just teach us how to live within our means, right? Why? Because that was around the time people started getting credit cards, and what we started doing, charge it. We just started charging everything, and we started living now above our means, right? And then what happened is every generation after that ended up losing value in the lessons that Big Mama them taught us. And so that was one of the things that we talked about. So I kind of want to go back to basics with this on tonight. And so that's where I say I'm probably going to be a little bit chatty tonight, because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. Now, one thing about me, I can tell you that I'm going to do. If it's good enough for me, then I'm definitely going to be able to tell you, how you can actually help your children. But before we get started, I want you to know you can always go to my website, Generational Wealth Building with RodHickman.com, and you can book your appointment with us where we can actually sit down with you and actually take a look at your finances and kind of help you get on the pathway to success. So without any further ado, I want to share my screen on tonight, because what I'm going to share with you tonight is that stuff. It is the thing that is going to help you be able to really, really make a transition and make sure that poverty stops with you, right? And so let me make sure I'm sharing my screen here. I want to make sure. So let me add this to the stream. All right. So hopefully you all can see my stream. Now, again, feel free to like, comment, share in the comments, and I can see what it is that you're saying, and we'll, address what it is that you have. So tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about teaching your children how to build generational wealth. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my wife and I have taught our daughter about building generational wealth. We are in the process of teaching our baby the importance of making sure that even though you have, this little job that you're working on, you need to be saving your money, right? You don't need to just be continuing to live out of our pocket, right? But you are making money right now, and you need to make sure that you start building generational wealth, because if we don't teach them, who will, right? And what will end up happening is we'll end up having our children that are living in poverty, and we'll be the one that'll pass it over to them, right? So let's start off with this comment right here. Your children need to know how money works, right? And let me say this again. If you don't know how money works, you need to learn how money works, right? Because it's definitely hard for you to tell your child, hey, you ought to have good spending habits, you ought to have good money habits, but you don't have it, because 90% of the lessons we learn visually. So when your children see you not managing money properly, when they see you going to security finance, going to One Main, going to World, whatever the World Finance Group, or the little advanced 24-hour, whatever it is, or the title plan place, when they see you doing that, it to them, that behavior says that's all good. It's all good in the hood. So we can do it. So let me help you. You have to first get your you first have to learn how money works, right? So a word to the wise, right? And this is what we're talking about. Just saving money in a bank doesn't grow your money. It may grow your money, but it ain't gonna grow it the way that you want to grow it. And so this is why it's imperative that we have a budget, that you have a budget, that you know what's coming in as well as that you go out, what's going out. And because if you don't know exactly where your money is going, what's going to happen is your money won't work for you, right? You'll try to save something, but I promise you to be like trying to hold sand. So you need to know how money works, and understand this: just putting your money in a bank account is not going to make you rich. Oh, I wish somebody would say amen, or at least type amen. Just putting your money in a bank will not make you rich. Why is that? That's because the rule of 72. Now, I'm not trying to go in there and talk all that tonight, but y'all remember the rule of 72, where you take the amount of interest that you're getting on your money and you divide it by 72. And that's going to tell you how long in years it's going to take your money to double. And so if you're getting 1% from a bank, which I know there are not many banks that are giving even 1% right now, guess what that means? That means that it's going to take your money about 72 years to double. And none of us have 72 years to allow that little $500 to double, right? So word to the wise, don't just put your money in the bank. And so here we're going into our little lesson tonight. So there's the 4 homes of money, right? There are 4 places where people typically put their money so that it can grow and work for them, right? And that being real estate, banks, investment, and cash value life insurance. And so here's something that I want you to understand. There is a test out there called they call it the laser test, right? But it's the LSRT test that shows you how to make sure that your money is actually working for you, right? Now, it can be working, but we want to make sure that it's working for you. Why do I say that? Because what can happen is, folks, is this. You could put your money somewhere else and it worked for everybody. Can I help you? And cut across the grass right here. Your money, a bank in the bank is not just sitting there. Trust me, they got your money farmed out somewhere everywhere. Whether Frank came to get it, Randy wanted to borrow some of it or whatnot, and they're charging an interest for them borrowing your money, but are they paying you anything back on it? Don't worry, I'll wait. The answer is no. They're not paying you anything back for them lending out your money. Like I say, they're giving you, like I say, if they're giving you 1%, that's still no money. Why? Because most of their loans, 7, 8, 9% that they're making. It's my money, but they're making more money off of it than I am, right? So we have the laser test, right? And here are the 4 categories that we use to make sure for you to be able to know whether or not your money is working for you, right? Does it have liquidity? Meaning, can you have access to it, right? If you don't have access to it, then, hey man, what's going to happen? Do you have access to it? Like, this would be a prime example for a bank, how you're able to go in and get your money out, right? All right. Is it safe? Meaning that if something happens, is your money insured? Is it protected? What kind of rate of return are you getting back on it, right? That's critical, as we were talking about the rule of 72. You want to make sure that you have a high interest rate, an annual interest rate, because that's going to mean your money is going to double much faster. And then taxes. And when we're talking about taxes, does it give you a tax shelter? Does it reduce? Does it eliminate taxes from you? That's how you know if your money is working for you, right? So let's look at it and you be the judge, right? So when we do the laser test, right, here are the 4 homes of money and how they rank. So when we look at real estate, and I know a lot of people say, yeah, throw your money in real estate because, people going to always need houses. I beg to differ. Right now, if you look out there, in California, in San Francisco, and if you look out there in Hollywood, man, listen, them folks, the tent encampments are growing. Why? Because people cannot afford their houses, right? So again, that's a misnomer. I understand the concept, and at one point in time, yes, people did have homes, but listen, now folk can't afford homes. Again, my wife and I, we were traveling to Charlotte there around Christmas time. Broke my heart. We were riding right through downtown as you come out of downtown, and there's a homeless encampment right there, right? Folk just living in tent city. As cold as it was, folk were right there. So I'm saying that to say, folk, oh yeah, real estate, you always gonna have something. Not necessarily. Don't believe the hype. But either way, when we look at real estate as it results, as it goes to the laser test, let's look at that. Is it liquid? No, it's not liquid, right? That means that you can't go and just pull money out of it, right? It's going to take you a minute to be able to get that money back. So it's not liquid. So it got a 0 there. Is it safe? Kinda, right? Why do you say kinda, Rod? Well, we're seeing it right now, right? The housing market is all over the place, right? For some people, you know, they're buying right now. For some people, it's a seller's market. For some people, it's a buyer's market, right? So that's why I put kinda, right? Because again, we see now, again, as I was saying beforehand, because of the state of the economy, right? There's no safety there in real estate, right? Because again, mortgages and foreclosures are going up, 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 up. These are things that we're not talking about. But again, not here to talk all night about that stuff, just really trying to get through so you understand this. Then we look at the rate of return. Again, it's tied to the market. So right now, there's some people that are making out like a fat rat in real estate as far as the rate of return, right? Because the housing markets prices have shot up, and some people are paying those crazy prices. Hickman ain't one of them, right? Wife and I, we want a new house, but we don't want one that bad that we're going to pay that kind of money, right? And taxes, I put a 0 there because really, even now, there's really no real tax benefits from your housing as far as reducing and or eliminating taxes. All right, let's look at a bank. Is it liquid? Absolutely. You can go into your bank, get your money. Is it safe? Absolutely. As long as you only have $249,999.99, your money is secure. Why? Because the FDIC only insures up to $250,000, but it is safe. So we'll leave it like that. Are you getting a good rate of return on it? Absolutely not. Not according to the rule of 72. You're absolutely not getting that. And is there any tax benefit for it? Absolutely not. Let's look at investments, right? Are your investments liquid? Absolutely not, right? Your Wolf of Wall Street is the one that's managing your money, and as he got it, he gonna do with it what he want to do with it. Ain't too much you can do about it, but just say, "Sir, please don't hurt me too bad." Is it safe? I'm gonna say kinda, right? Because again, it's depending on the market. The market could trend up, and there you go. Or should I say, it depends on the product, right? You could get a low interest rate, which is really counterproductive to even having an investment such as a 401k, 403b, 457, even a mutual fund. It makes no sense to have a investment that's not getting you a high rate of return. You're literally using your money for fodder for somebody else, right? And then there's no tax benefit, because what most people don't know, and this is what generational wealth builders or insurance matters or legacy bridge builders or generational wealth builders out. This is what we're educating our clients to. Most people don't know that your 401k, when you get ready to draw that money out and as in retirement, bro, that's when you are going to have to pay taxes on that. Most people don't know that. And it's a shame that they don't know it, but they don't know it. And you need to be informed about that, because think about it like this here. If you have $100,000 in your retirement account and you decide to retire, if the income tax rate is 30%, guess what you're going to have to pay? And I'm going to let you do the math. You're going to have to pay that. So that means you'll be left with whatever's less than that 30% or whatever the income tax rate is. So if you only got $100,000, guess what's going to happen, bro? You're going to have to keep on working. Right? You got to keep on working, because that's not going to be enough for you to retire on and continue to live the same way you lived before. That's why so many people are retiring, and then what are they doing? They're going back to work. And what do they tell us? Man, I'm going back to work because I got tired of sitting at the house. Now, to some folk, that's true. And you can tell it, right? Because they go and do something at the golf course, or they go do something at the school and volunteer and stuff like that right there. That's getting out the house. But let me help you. When you see our elderly in there doing that back-breaking work, trust me, they are not there because they want to be there. They are not. They are not there because they want to be there. They are there because they have to be there. And it's a shame and a sin before the Lord. All right. And last but not least, category 4 gets all fours, right? Wait a minute. All fours. Well, what was that one that was in category 4 again? Life insurance, and the cash value life insurance. And I put this here. This is not your grandma's life insurance, right? And again, I know a lot of people got burned because they was like, my grandma and this, that, and other paid all that. Well, this is not your granny's life insurance. Let me show you how, using the laser test, how we say that cash value life insurance, again, not talking about whole life insurance. So I'm going to make sure I make that distinction right now. So so you don't tune out on me. I'm not talking about whole life insurance. And what I tell my clients is primarily, I don't really want to write you a whole life insurance policy, because if I write you a whole life insurance policy and you talk about using the funds from that, I already know I'm putting you at a disservice. And so, folks, let me help you. If you have a whole life insurance policy out there, please, 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 pretty please, don't take that cash value out of there, because it's not going to work out well for you, right? Especially if you don't pay it back. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that, because I want you to go and look at your policy and read the fine print. All right, so let's look at the laser test and see how a cash value policy was able to score 4 out of 4. So the first thing is the cash value life insurance policy builds cash value that using the premium that allows you to access the cash value, right? That's the first thing first. That's so, and you have access to that cash value. Now, the next thing is it's recession proof. Why? Because the the insurance companies have a tremendous amount of power. Don't you fool yourself. These insurance companies are paid. They know how to make money. They know how to keep making money. And that's why they've been in business for so long. The next reason why, the premium that you use somewhat participate in the stock market, so you get a much better rate of return. However, you don't have any losses when there's a downturn in the market, right? So again, you're getting the best of going to Vegas, Tunica, Atlantic City without any of the risk, all because of insurance. And then last but not least, your monies used in your life insurance policy are tax-free dollars. Therefore, what that means is your money grows and the gains are tax-free. That's how it was able to score 4 out of 4 out on the laser test, right? I know y'all didn't know that. I know some of y'all gonna be like, man, get out of here. I never thought that. How in the world could that happen? Well, that's exactly why Generational Wealth Builders is here, because we want you to know, listen, it ain't just about selling life insurance here. With us, it's about building generational wealth. That's what it's all about. It's about building generational wealth. And you won't build generational wealth if you're not putting your money in places where it's working for you. So I hope you see how cash value life insurance was able to score 4 out of 4 out of the laser test. Now, here's the reason why I wanted to have this session on tonight. And I hope that you will really, really hear my heart on this, right? So notice, why should your teenager get a cash value life insurance policy? As I was telling you earlier, as we got started, we need to get our children back on deck to doing the right things that will allow them to be able to maximize money. Again, we had generations that did not do it. They did not pick up and follow after Meemaw them. They did not in some areas, especially when it comes to building money. They just did not. But we've got to make sure that we are arming our children with the information that's going to allow them to be great, right? All right. So let's look at the money. Why are we saying this? So let's just say you have a child that has just started working, whether they're working at Walmart, Sonic, whatever the case may be. Let's just say you have a child that just started working. So the very first thing you need to do is establish a budget with your child. Why? If you don't establish a budget with your child, they are going to blow through that money. And remember this, always, always, always remember this. A budget is a financial roadmap that shows you how to get to where you want to be and when it pertains to financial freedom, period and point blank. That's what a budget does. And it's never too early to start budgeting with your child, right? So after you establish a budget with your child, and here's the thing, if you don't know how to establish a budget with your child, then number two is you need to book your free consultation with Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, because we will help you and your child to be able to build a suitable budget that's going to work and help your child be able to know and take on those great practices from a financial standpoint, right? But again, you want to make sure that you book with Rod Hickman's Generational Wealth Builders or Legacy Bridge Builders. They are our business partners here in the metropolitan city of Covington. If you're in Memphis, Insurance Matters with Lady Eleanor Glover, man, we got people all around. Down in Starkville, Mississippi, we got Opulent Life with Sean and Camellia Hickman. They're doing some great things down there. We're getting ready to head down there. We just had one of our newest agents come on down in the Jessup, Georgia area, and in the Hinesville area. We got Miss Frida Martin down there with Foundation Setters Financial Services. And then we got the Powell team coming on down there in the Hinesville, Georgia area. So as you can see, I told y'all before, Generational Wealth Builders is going nationwide, baby. And when I tell you we're going nationwide, we're here to help families, right? So that was my roll call. Let's get into it. So let's say you have a 16-year-old child named Bartholomew. Now, I hope your child is not named Bartholomew, but if it is, we ain't going to hold that to him. It's all good. Now, let me tell you. So what I always recommend is that you take advantage of your child being young, and you get them a massive amount of life insurance. Why? It is silly. Listen to me. And I'm not saying this from a condescending manner, but I want you to hear my heart. It is plumb silly to get a child $10,000 worth of life insurance when you can actually help your child put money in there, grow money for them, right? I'm just telling you, it's absolutely ludicrous. So I'm starting off by saying that I know people say, well, you get them $25,000 worth of life insurance because this, that, and the other. Well, that $25,000 ain't going to grow for them, right? And so God forbid if something happens, then when I'm talking about something happening, you don't know that if your child in between the time they're growing up, if they're going to be diagnosed with something. Well, our policies have what's called the living benefits. And what those living benefits do are, God forbid, if little Bartholomew is diagnosed with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness or injury, the insurance company is going to say, hey, well, look at here. We're sorry that little Bartholomew is going through that. But hey, take $125,000 to help little Bartholomew get himself together. Right? Because as a parent, you're going to have to take off work. And when you start taking off work, that means bills going to fall behind. And all these other things are going to get messed up. So why not get a life insurance policy that, God forbid, if something does happen, they are going to give you part of the death benefit while your child is still alive. Okay, so that's my point on that, right? That $250,000. So it would be about $101 a month, right? Annually, little Bartholomew is going to pay $1,212.50, right? Now, here is the kicker to this policy, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now. It's the guideline level premium. And what this guideline level premium does, it allows your policy to act more like an investment than it does life insurance. However, you still get to stay up under the tax threshold. I'm going to say that again. The guideline level premium allows you to be able to invest more into the policy and it grow at the interest rate that the policy is growing at. And right now, our policies, even throughout the pandemic, have been paying out about 6%, which means that the money will be doubling almost every 12 years. All right, so let's go. So this is what it would look like each year if Bartholomew just basically paid his premium. So the first year, even though he's paying in $1,213, Excuse me there. The first year, he's going to get it back about $470 in cash value, right? So that's how much they're going to put into a cash value policy for little Bartholomew, right? And so year over year, it's growing. And as you can see, year two, it's a little bit more. You're starting to see that 6% interest growing. And so year over year, little Bartholomew's money is growing. So let's look at this. So let's just say little Bartholomew gets to the age of 32, just for paying his life insurance policy, that $110 a month, Bartholomew has about $16,000 that he has access to tax-free, right? So let's say Bartholomew is ready to buy a house at the age of 30. Can you see how now Bartholomew doesn't have to go and raid the bank? Bartholomew doesn't have to go and try to get into more debt to get the money or mortgage some or leverage some, or hello parents, come to y'all and say, hey, if y'all don't give me $20,000 to get out this house, I'm gonna be here with y'all forever. And now y'all got to come up with the money for them to be able to get out, right? So that's what I want y'all to see there, right? Just for paying his just for paying his policy, look at how that money has grown. And like I said, and as Bobby is saying here, it is tax free. All right. So that's that. Now, let's just say, for example, Bartholomew decides, hey, I got my money from Christmas. I got some other stuff going on. I want to invest in or overfund my policy $2,500 one time. I want to just do this. That's right, Richard, seed money. I just want to seed to my own self, to my future self, $2,500 just one time toward the guideline level premium. Watch what happens. Now, look how this money grows. So now, at the end, by the time he turns 32, little Bartholomew has now gained over $6,000 from a one-time investment. Do you follow? Just for paying his life insurance policy, little Bartholomew has now made a $6,000 gain. And remember now, this is still his money. So if he has need of it, he can go get it, he can borrow, and he can pay himself back, right? That's what we want to teach our children. So think about it. When they got to get their first car, right? If they have to get a down payment or they want to buy a cash car or whatever it is that they need to do. And I just use these numbers just as an example. They now have their own money to, watch this, become their own bank. They can do what they want to do. They can fund whatever it is that they feel like they need to fund because they have their own money. And it will be because you showed your child exactly what to do. How amazing is that? So in conclusion, the next thing you need to do is book your appointment. That's what you need to do. If you're a parent, you need to book your appointment. You can go to Generational Wealth Building with Rod Hickman, or if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, just inbox me at Rod Hickman's Generational Wealth Building, or any one of these leaders that are on this call. You can actually go ahead on and go ahead and book your appointment so we can get your babies on deck so they can start preparing for retirement, so they can start preparing to have a life full of generational wealth, right? Because here we go again. If we don't teach our babies, who will, right? They're not teaching it in school. I just heard and just found out, again, Friday night when we were down there in Deerfield, just found out that now they're teaching financial literacy in the state of Florida. They're making ninth graders take a financial literacy class, ninth graders. Now watch this. I just want you to see how many generations have now gone down but did not have a financial literacy class. And we wonder why there's such a wealth gap. We wonder why wealth disparity is so great, right? Because we're not doing the right things. And a lot of the times we get in our feelings because we like, well, I don't want to be embarrassed because I don't know this and I should know this and should know that. Man, that's foolishness. It's foolishness to stay in a sinking ship talking about, well, I don't know how to swim. Bro, you better put that life vest on and get on out there in that water and start doggy paddling, right? And we've got to do the same thing with our generations, right? I'm telling you, our daughter is getting ready. Listen, let me help you. Our daughter is not going to know poverty. Our grandchildren will not know poverty. They won't know it. Why? Because we're teaching our baby. and we're teaching other babies that are connected to us, we are teaching them how to actually get to the point where they are actually building generational wealth, where they don't have to worry about, am I going to have enough money? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? They'll have their own money. They'll know. They'll have their money in life insurance, which, by the way, is protected. And let me say something to this point, and then I'm going to get on off of here because it's been a long week, and I need to go and lay it down for a minute. Need to go find my love. Yeah. But listen here, let me tell you something. For those of you that say, well, I'm going to tell little Junior to get a Roth because a Roth is a great product to invest in. Let me help you. It makes absolutely no sense for you to tell your child to buy a Roth product. Why? Two main reasons. The first reason, that money is in the variable market, right? So when that Roth goes up, it'll make money. But when it goes down, it's going to lose money. And remember, you gain and lose money in the variable market in percentages, right? Period and point blank. I don't care where you go. I don't care what they tell you. That's why if you ever talk to your the person that's managing your 401k, they'll tell you it's a percentage. Matter of fact, in your 401k, they won't even tell you where you'll be at. Oh, it's on the market, but it's an average rate of return of X percentages, because average, if you don't know, it averages out. So again, think about it like this. If the market gains 50% this year and loses 50% the next year, watch me now. If the market, in order for you to get back to where it was at the first 50%, the market has to do 100%, meaning you have to double the loss in order to get back where you were. Not make money. In order to get back where you were, the market has to double the loss. So in that scenario, if it goes up 50% and goes down 50%, if it goes back up 50%, baby, you just only gained 50% of what you lost. Does that make sense? I hope it makes a lot of sense to you. But it's got to get 100% growth in order for you to get back whole, right? So that's first thing. Now, and you don't want to do that, especially in this market. Okay, I know, I feel you. Yeah, but I'm a day trader. Hey, bro, how many nights are you vampiring, hovering over your keyboard, praying that you get it right? How much time are you spending and investing trying to get it right? And you still get it wrong. You still end up losing money. Is the time worth it that you're investing? But again, I'm not here to debate that. The second point, when somebody talks about, I got a Roth IRA, don't you know that there's a contribution limit to a Roth? And the contribution limit is, if you are under the age of 50, you can only put $6,500 in there. That is considered tax-free. Only $6,500. That's considered tax-free. That's it. Now, with that being said, when you turn 50, I think it goes up to $7,500. And these numbers are what they just released this year. So now you could put $7,500 up in there. And I've done the math. My wife and I did the math. Do you not know that if you just put in what you wanted to stay tax-free, if you just put that in, are you aware that you would only have, at the age 65, about $313,000? That's if the market never lost nothing. You would have $313,000. Think I'm lying? Do the math. You basically take from the age of 13 to 49 is 31 years, 18 to 49 is 31 years. And then from 50 to about 65 is 15 years. Do the math. Only $300,000. Now let me ask you a question. Who can live off? How long can you live off $300,000? Considering the price of everything is going up. Now, why am I bringing that up? With that cash value life insurance, did y'all see the number on there that Bartholomew could put in? what Bartholomew put in, he was able to put in up to almost $7,000. Because what would happen is that he's not losing no money there. So you saw the growth of his money. And I could have went out to 65, but I didn't want to do that because I want to talk about for the children, right? But again, by the time he gets 65, do y'all know bro gonna have probably almost $600,000 in cash value in that account? Could he live off $600,000? It's more than $300 and some $1,000, right? It'll take you a lot further than that. That's what we're showing people here. And so we are growing and we want you to know. And so that's why on this Sunday night, we took this time to be able to come on here so that you could hear, so that you could see. You need, as a parent, you need to make sure that your children, if you have young children that are working, you need to make sure that your babies have a cash value IUL, not a whole life policy. Please don't waste your money on a whole life policy. And as I told y'all earlier, the only people I really write whole life policies for are my elderly folk. That's it. That's it. Because again, they're the ones that are not going to be pulling from that cash value. You need an index universal life policy. And that's what we specialize in. And I'm proud to say I can service pretty much from New York to LA. Absolutely. From New York to Florida, from Florida to Texas, and from Texas to California. Right. And then we have other agents on here that can help you in multiple states. And so that's what we want you to do. We want you to look at your policies, talk to your children. If you have babies that are working, get them a policy, let them overfund it. I promise you, you'll thank me. You'll thank me down the road. Well, listen, it's been my time tonight. I hope you all got some great value out of it tonight. I hope you'll like, I hope you'll share, but more importantly, what I hope you'll do, I hope you'll reach out. And as I told you, on this call are some generational wealth builders. We got Bobby and Tiffany Clary of Legacy Bridge Builders. They can help you out. You got Richard and Lamisha Hughes down there in the South Florida area, finna tear it up down there. Again, watch what I'm telling you. America's Next Top Couple. They're down there. They can help you. We got one of our newest agents that's on the call tonight, Mr. Marquise Hodges. Again, so thankful to have him here with us, learning this business, getting ready to help us right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Begin to, again, work this work, begin to do the type of things that we need to do. Okay, he's been working with Lady Glover there at Insurance Matters up there in Memphis, Tennessee. Again, we have agents all over, and we want you to be a part of us. We want you to definitely be able to help your families, your friends, and really be able to make sure that your children are set up so that your grandchildren won't know poverty, so that your great-grandchildren won't know poverty. How amazing would it be for you to be the last one that poverty plagues? How great would that be? Listen, I can tell you, I know poverty. I've lived poverty. But I thank God that my children didn't know poverty the way I knew poverty. What they knew us to be was middle class, right? They knew us to be somewhat, lower, maybe lower to middle class. But now, thanks be to God, our grandchildren will not know poverty, right? And it's amazing to say that. And just let me help you with this here too. Let me help you with this, because what happens is there are a lot of times where we feel like, oh no, that's not for me, or it's okay, and blah blah blah. No, it's not okay. It is not okay to pass along poverty. It is not. It is not okay to pass poverty while your family is sitting there grieving. They're grieving your loss, as well as they're grieving you. They're grieving your loss, and now they're grieving the fact that here comes South Beach Tow to come and take the car. Here come, whoever, to come and repo the house, foreclosure on the house. There's no reason why in this time that we should be experiencing that. There's no reason why. And again, that's why generational wealth builders are expanding the way that we're expanding. As I told you, we got Lady Frida Martin out there coming along in Jessup, Georgia, the metropolitan city of Jessup, Georgia. with Foundation Settlers Financial Services Group. Again, people can help. And these are all great people with great character that have a passion to help people. And that's why I'm so grateful. And I don't mind standing behind them. I don't mind calling their name on these videos because I know what they're about. They're about helping people change their lives. They've understood that as a generational wealth builder, poverty ends with us. And why does it end with us? It ends with us being able to go out there and share with you and empower you to be able to tell poverty, get on out of here. I might have endured it, but my babies won't know. Nobody in my generation, nobody will know poverty because of me and because of my wife, because we took the time to learn exactly what it means. We took the time to learn exactly what it means to be able to invest in ourselves and to invest in our future, right? That's what we did. That's what we did. And as I keep trying to quit, but I keep thinking about this, watch me this. Watch me now. Are you not aware that Walt Disney made it through the Great Depression because of life insurance? Because of cash value life insurance, not just life insurance. J.C. Penney made it through the Great Depression because of cash value life insurance. J.C. Penney. Ray Kroc was able to buy McDonald's and begin to expand it because of cash value life insurance. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I hope this puts something in your craw like it did me. I'm going back at banks again. Don't you know that banks take our money? Banks take our money and they go invest in these IUL policies. They get these huge policies that pay out this crazy amount of interest with our money. And that's how they fund their executive pensions. They're taking your money, they're taking my money, and they're putting it into IULs. And they're reaping the benefits. And then they're turning right around and not even giving you 1% with your money. And like I told you, remember the rule of 72 is right. 1% is going to take about 72, actually about 69.66 years, but again, about 72 years. 2% about 35 years and some change, right? This is what they're doing with your and my money. And let me ask you this question as I log out for real. Shouldn't you be getting that return on your investment? Shouldn't it be you? Shouldn't it be you that's able to fund your retirement from your life insurance? Not some wealthy executive. Shouldn't it be you? The answer is yes, it should absolutely be you. But it won't be you if you keep, doing things that aren't going to make you the kind of money that you should make. So for my people that are like, well, I'm gonna just buy term. Listen, I hear you. Buy term because it's cheap. But if you don't have a cash value policy, guess what's gonna happen? When that term is over, what are you gonna do then? How are you gonna pass on generational wealth? I'll invest the rest. You're putting your money into a meat grinder. Come on, man. Just think about it. I know everybody loved Dave Ramsey. I know. Dave Ramsey showed a few folk how to get out of debt. And now everything Dave Ramsey say is scripture to some folk, right? But it's not. He missed the boat on the cash value life insurance. Now, again, I'll tell you, whole life, I don't really sell whole life policies. Again, I told you my stipulations for whole life policies. But the IUL policies, oh yeah. And when I tell you my baby is getting her policy Tuesday, she's signing up to get her own policy. Why? Because we are emphatic about building generational wealth. Because again, poverty ends with us. And so it's your man, Rod Hickman. I am so glad that you all came. Hope that you got some value out of this tonight. I appreciate you so much. Again, if you like this video, like it, share it. Again, husbands, sit down with your wife and listen to this. Wives, sit down with your husband, and then y'all bring y'all children and sit down and watch this video, because you have got to be the one to take the lead in making sure that your children do not continue to support poverty. It's your man, Rod Hickman. We all love you. May the Lord bless you. Y'all have a good night. God bless.